since I haven't made a video in a while. My hair is now long. I'm no longer bald. But yeah, we're going to jump into 3 important life lessons I've learned in the past 12 months, or things I've pondered across that I think you should think about. So lesson 1, it's very obvious. If you're moderately sentient, you'll understand that money is an exchange for certain goods or things. You do something, you get something. But I've more looked upon it a little different in the past year. I mean, I've always looked at it different because I come from a trading background, but being in a spot of leverage to make money is the best position to be in. What I mean by that is providing massive benefit for somebody else, so trying to make them as much money as possible, and then you pick up the percentage difference instead of you trying to go out and make a ton of money for yourself or whatever. You just make it as a byproduct. You make it as a massive amount in exchange for something. So not in exchange for something that's going to bring them low return, something that'll make them say $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a month, and then you pick up a premium on top of that. So you say, okay, I'll make you an extra $200,000 a month, but you have to pay me 30, 40, 50,000 of that. So that's the best way to, regardless of the amount of hours you work, you can work half an hour, and if you can achieve that in half an hour, sweet, you still make the same amount of money. Or if you have to work 30 hours, 50 hours, 100 hours, you make that amount of money. But being in that position of leverage where they make it and you pick up a premium on that, regardless of the amount of time put in, you are the catalyst for that amount of money that they made. So being in that position, or trying to figure out how you could get yourself in that position in any scenario, is now I'm constantly thinking about it in a business aspect. Is like, okay, how could I be in that position to where they can massively benefit and I can pick up the premium on top of that? So it's really other people focused, really outside focused. And I kind of look at it even in the way of products. Say you're in dropshipping or something like that, what's the biggest benefit I can bring to my customers, and then pick up a premium on top of that. So it's really outwards focused, and then just trying to be in a position where you can benefit someone. Having a marketing agency, for instance, and then helping a business launch their product and reach X amount more people, and then you pick up a premium on top of that. Being in these types of industries or these areas where the reward is massive regardless of the time and input. Like, even if you put 20 minutes in, but you said, hey, I'll put 20 minutes in, but you make an extra 200,000, you have to pay me $100,000. Anyone's going to take that deal because I'll make an extra 100,000. Like, so finding out how to be that guy that can be that beneficial and be in that position. Think about that. So another point is pushing towards goals. Now, I always preach towards pushing towards goals anyways, but now it's more, I saw this thing, it's like, who cares if you die in the pursuit of your goal? And it's like, you may as well be chasing something noble, you may as well be chasing something beneficial, opposed to chasing nothing. Do you know what I mean? Because the outcome would be the same. Say you chase something and you don't reach it, well, you would have gained a ton of other things in that time. It would have been fantastic fucking in any other realm, opposed to having no goal and then chasing nothing. Like, the outcome's the same whether you achieve. At least with having a goal orientated perspective, that way there is something at the end of the tunnel that if you do achieve it, well, then it's like exponentially better. The importance of pushing towards goals this year has been solidified, like pushing towards what you want, setting out what you want, and then regardless of how big, small, whatever it is, it's more noble to be chasing something like that opposed to chasing nothing. It's really been solidified in my mind. I mean, I've always had that outlook, like I've said, but been more ingrained in my brain this year. Especially we're seeing some of the people around that just have no goals, and then they don't chase anything, then they're aimless. And it's like, well, if you put that in perspective to somebody who's goal orientated, then at least even if they don't reach their goals, they tried. Do you know what I mean? Consider that, set fucking massive goals and then go after it. Another thing I've noticed, and it was actually with a lot of clients and stuff like that, just a lot of interactions over the past years, people don't understand that there's no light without dark. I know heaps of people say this, but you know, they might have a really great month where they might make 100, 200,000 or whatever, or it could be, it doesn't even have to be enough financial, it could be in any other realm. But then they have a bad month after and they're just like, wow, what the fuck is this? So they get all stressed out, they're worried, like, but it's like, bro, you just made 100K, now you've lost like 20, like, you're chilling. Like, don't worry about it, there's no light. Well, if anything, like, the dark times teach you what to do so that you can be better equipped to handle the next season. There's no growth from positive things. Like, you think if you're on a win streak, right? I could use trading as an example because previous, like, full-time trader. There's like, every time you're on a win streak, you don't really learn anything. But when you're in the losing streak, you're really like dialed in. You're paying attention. What did I do wrong? How come I lost money? Like, all this kind of stuff. Take that as a learning experience, I guess, and apply that to everything else in your life. If something isn't completely going right, well, obviously something needs to be like corrected. Learning experience. You only learn when things are bad. Like that's the only time you learn, really. I know obviously some people learn when things are good, but for a majority of people, we're very thick-headed, fucking retarded, honestly. And we only learn when things are super bad. Like me personally, things have to be super bad, and then I'm like, oh fuck, like I get it, and then you learn, and then the next season's even better. So just rolling with it. Try not to get too stressed out. It's like there's a quote. I don't know exactly what the quote is, but it's like tough times aren't here forever, and good times here aren't here forever. The seasons are constantly changing. So just realize that when you're in a season of bad or when things are not going great, consider it a learning experience, and try make the next season, the next good part of your life, even better through what you learned through the bad parts. There's only growth and learning realistically a lot of the time in the bad. Keep that in mind next time you're doing things. So they're kind of the 3 things I learned over the past 12 months, things that I've pondered. Obviously I might, it's just things I've constantly thought about. So it's something that you should potentially think about or, consider. And I encourage you to reflect upon the last 12 months of your life and figure out what the things you've learned are, and then take them forward with you again. We only learn through the bad, so think about the bad periods in your life, think about things you could be doing better, think about how you could be improving, and then constantly look to improve. They're the things I learned from this year.